Hey there, worldies. How are you? Today I'm going to make a very special chandelier for the space that I am making for a friend of mine. It is going to be made out of antlers. Now, I want you to understand, antlers, it's okay to make things out of antlers because deer shed them just like we shed hair. Every year they get a new set, so it doesn't hurt them any when you use their antlers because usually you just find them in the woods. So that's all okay, okay? All right, here we go. As you can guess, we are going to start with our shapes, and we're going to start with a tube. This one is not going to be of much value to me, so let's fix this up nicely. We're going to make it a 4, and we're going to give it about a 75% tube height. And we're going to go with the 6-sided, I think. I think that's going to be quite sufficient. What we're going to remember is that using our double edit is going to make this so much easier for us. We're starting off with our creation. The more points a deer has, the older it is. Or at least that's what they say. So I'm going to start with this coming up. And I'm going to bring it off to one side. And I'm going to bring it forward. And I'm going to bring another piece out. It's going to get another one that's going to come forward. So we've got 3 main branches. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to rotate this piece so you can see it better. There we go. So we're going to edit it. And then we're going to double edit it. And we've got our points in here that you can see. I've got a point here and a point here right now. That's the part that I'm double editing. I'm going to use my transform tool to pull it down a little bit and bring it in closer. I am going to use the select to select the second dot, and I'm going to add a point or 2 in there. It's probably going to be enough right there. Then I'm going to scale these. Actually, I'm going to start with the smallest one. We're going to take it down as small as I can. There we go. Make this one a little bit thinner too. Then we're going to say done with that part of it, and I'm going to clone this piece. It's going to come out from under here. So we're going to manipulate this piece and bring it up into here. And then we're going to scale it, the whole piece down a bit because it needs to be a little bit smaller. Now, if you have an actual deer antler that you can look at and take pictures of from different angles, it makes this kind of thing so much easier. But I'm relying on Google right now for pictures of a deer. And I did want to have several points that I could look at, but I've got just the face-on view of this one, so I'm kind of having to use my imagination as to where these pieces are going to go. Now there's some little tips on here. I think I'm going to double edit this other one first. So we've got our points in here. I'm going to scale this one a little bit bigger. That one actually is probably a good shape and size right there. We're going to go up here and get this one and make it as small as we can at the top. And we're going to add some more points in here. Now, one thing about doing this form of art is that no two antlers are exactly alike. So you have a lot of room for interpretation. And I love to be able to interpret for myself. Look at this. They are always going to be smaller at the top and larger at the bottom. But you don't want it to be too big either. That's looking pretty good. We're going to recolor it now. I'm going to make it this ochre color. And I'm going to use wood grain to start with because I want to see how well that is going to color this piece. It's not bad. Let's look at that from the front camera. And then from the top. I'm going to rotate that around a little bit so you can see how that looks. As I said before, no two are exactly alike when it comes to antlers. When I go to clone this, I am going to flip it because an antler should have two. There should be one on each side. As we're going to clone this, we're going to use the flip. And there we go. Now, antlers are farther apart on an animal's head, so they're going to be about that far apart if they're on a deer's head. Figuring that the nose is facing me and you're seeing the back of its head. Its ears would be on either side here. I'm going to select the second part here, so I have both of them. You can see the green box all the way around the whole thing. And I'm going to clone again. Let's turn it first. Oh, we don't want to do that. They need to be, what is it? Haha, merged. So let's look at our select option here. We're going to merge those two shapes so that we can turn them. And rotate them so that you can see what it is I'm doing with this. Now I think I'm going to give myself a base here. I'm using the pipe. And I'm going to bring it into the world using the grid. And you can see I have it right here. I'm going to scale it first. And then I'm going to move it so that it's about centered. Manipulate it so that it's more of a ring, so that I have something to go off of as far as where I am putting these. It's not so much guesswork anymore. If I recolor this, we're going to go with a nice amber. And we're going to make that a shiny metal. Just like that. And we're going to make it shiny. Make it a shiny metal, just like that. Okay, so these are being mounted to this piece at this point. And I will probably make a second one of these to go on the outside of it. Which I will scale to a larger size and then manipulate down again. Oh, I'm going to redo that because did you see how I moved it? I'm going to select those. Select. Select. Merge. Clone. I'm going to use the top green one because then I can take it just straight up and I can rotate that so that it has a little more personality to it. Bring it back down a bit. And oh my goodness, that is just so lovely. I love it. I might shrink it down just a wee bit. Which means that I may have to move it over a little bit to center it. There we go. So now we have this lovely, lovely lantern chandelier, and I'm going to clone. Actually, I'm going to edit. I'm going to edit, and so I can grab just the center one, and I'm going to bring it up to meet the upper ones. Now, you can do one of two things. You can either create some chain to bring these pieces together, or you can use just a straight tube of very small size. To create, I'll do it on this side, to create a rod. I'm going to move that over so that it's a little more centered on this part down here. So you can have like 4 of these holding it together, and then add to it if you want to make it like a welded piece all the way out to hold on to this. And then on this part of it, you're going to make your candles on this lower part, or your bulbs, or whatever it is that you're going to use to light this room. Okay, so now what I'm doing is I am taking that rod that I've made and I'm moving it over to the other side by cloning it. So we have this entire piece, and I can roll it over and show it to you. It's really quite interesting to look at. And it's going to be hanging from the ceiling up above. That is my lesson for today on how to make an antler chandelier. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you guys later.